It is 5:42 p.m. for Tuesday, October 28th. We are winding down this month, which means I will have 3 more weeks of school and then just 1 week and whatever. Our professor for my comp sci class has foreshadowed a very hard homework and the midterms all happening soon. So that's making me a little bit nervous. But I am essentially done with my history class. Japanese is chilling, and the stats class is fine. The only thing that I kind of wanted to talk about is these weekly quizzes. So, I don't mind quizzes that much, but, and I maybe don't mind them weekly per se, but in an intro class, it feels very hard to have weekly quizzes because I don't feel like we're learning especially a large amount of things by a weekly basis. So the quizzes cannot have large amounts of content, which is fine. You don't want to have a test level thing every single week. But when you learn, you don't advance fast enough. You kind of get to a point where the quiz becomes too small. And there are ways to get around this. My comp sci professors in past years have done it so that instead of it being in the stats case, a 3-point quiz, it is a 20-point quiz. And it's a lot more about the method, and there's a lot more questions, and there may be they're more specific in answers so that they can add more questions and more points and more room for error in there. Because the point of a quiz is not necessarily just to, oops, you messed up, you get a bad grade. It's to say, oh, you were close, but here's the thing, it's a checkup. And so when you have these quizzes that are 3 points weekly and you get one wrong, it's a significant grade deduction, then it feels tough. It feels hard. It's a little bit stressful because you go through and maybe you're just like, oh, I forgot to study for it. And then you go to class and it's like, well, there tanks my quiz grade. And luckily, they're not a large portion of the grade. But it's still the matter of a fact that if you mess one up, you go from 100 to a 66, which is not good in the grand scheme of things. So it's I think there's a better way to manage it. The way the comp sci classes were. I remember in my comp sci class last year, programming languages, where we learned about C, C#, C++, and memory, and a bunch of lower level computer science courses, or computer science languages, coding languages, that we can use then to build off our knowledge from. It was 20-point quizzes. And I remember I got there was maybe 4 or 5 questions. I got one question wrong. She only knocked me down to a 19 out of 20 because she's like, you did most of it right, you just didn't get this part. And that's partial credits where it's at. So it made it so I got to remember that now, but it wasn't oh my God, my grade is ruined. And I mean, even the one where I missed and I had to make it up due to a hockey commitment, I get there and I got 18.5 out of 20. I'm I am fine with that. It was clearly my worst quiz, but it's not bad at all. So there are ways to make quizzes good and useful, and I just don't know if this stats class is doing it right. But yeah, I finished my write-up for my homework 1, so now I just have to study for the stats quiz, which is really just looking over the past 2 slides, going through. It really is just going to be about a certain equation, the proportion equation, which gets you the z-score, which is going to be fine because we can use it in t-testing. And then the Japanese I'm just studying, so I'm kind of cruising a little bit this week, but it's yeah. I can't practice today, or I'm not even sure tomorrow, because I don't have a stick anymore. I broke my stick in the previous game, and I would feel really guilty playing with another person's stick for practice. So I have to go buy one. I wasn't going to practice today anyways because my back still kind of hurts, and I just don't want to push it because I'm getting nervous with this type of injury being so in a sensitive area and all, being on the spine. So I don't want to hurt it too badly. But maybe Wednesday I'll practice. But yeah, I still need to buy sticks. And sticks are expensive. I don't like buying hockey sticks. I don't like buying hockey equipment in general. I was so good at buying equipment. Beginning of high school, I bought equipment. Beginning of boarding school, I bought equipment. Beginning of college, I bought more equipment. And then I'm like, I'm done. I don't need anything else. All my equipment fits. Everything is like... two of them should probably have gotten new things, but the shoulder pads and the pants, but whatever. Everything else is still functional and great. I just have to get a new stick. That's going to be like, I should get 2 of them just in case one breaks, because I did have an instance where I broke both my sticks in boarding school. I had a mishap with somehow the ordering, so I ended up ordering 2 more, and I get there. I do one drill. I go to go to the huddle, take a knee, stick breaks immediately, which pissed me off. Luckily, I could get a return, but I've been unlucky with the amount of sticks that I have broken. So I am. I'll just need to buy some more. That's going to cost a lot of money, but I'm probably going to do that tomorrow or later tonight. I'm going to go chill in my room for a little bit and then have some dinner.